The fact that Sonic's next game is a racer has us pretty excited. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed did a lot of things right that made it stand out from simply being a Mario Kart clone, and knowing that Sumo Digital is back for the new Team Sonic Racing ensures that we'll see something a little different than the standard kart racer. And thanks to European previews that went live today, we have a slightly better idea of what makes it different. It really is a team racing game, with players picking a role on Team Sonic or Team Dark in this demo and helping each other finish the race in as high of a position as possible. Teamwork and earning points through that teamwork is how players will win, whether they're working with friends or the AI. But there's still a lot that we don't know. Thankfully, we do have a short gameplay clip of the Planet Wisp track from Kotaku UK, and you know what that means. It's time to team up with the old analysis machine to see what secrets and hidden details we can find. So let's start the race. And right off the bat, we can see a blue cube wisp on the road to act as a barrier, or perhaps more like a very large banana if we want to use Mario Kart analogies. And as we see later in the gameplay with Sonic, only one cube is dropped, but they can be seen quite often on the track, so it seems they'll stick around until they're hit. That said, Planet Wisp has a wide course, so using the cube might require some smart play. We soon see a semicircle appear behind Sonic, which is a visual signal that the player is asking for an item. According to the previews, items can be passed between teammates so that those in front can help their friends in the back. It explains why Sonic suddenly obtains an orange rocket wisp that he fires forward, so it's pretty easy to imagine this wisp as the green shell equivalent. But passing items is just one way that teams can interact and help each other. As Team Sonic, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles work together, and in this scene, Knuckles is ahead of Sonic, but is leaving behind a yellow trail that Sonic can follow. This allows Sonic to easily enter Knuckles' slipstream and obtain a speed boost. And it works both ways, as we later see Sonic pass Knuckles and immediately get the same trail. It could allow for teams to constantly slingshot each other ahead. The next Wisp item we see is the Black Bomb, which is already bouncing ahead of Knuckles at the start of the race before exploding. It comes across as very unpredictable, but this is the only time we see it, so we don't know its full functionality. Instead, we can just imagine it bouncing ahead a few times, even off walls, until it blows up. As Sonic continues to race forward, we can see gaps in the track with alternate paths, or perhaps the same path, that loops around with sections both above and below. The previews made it clear that this would be a key aspect of the courses in Team Sonic Racing. However, they didn't mention what rings do in the game. Our best guess is that they help teams raise their team boost meter, allowing each of them to get a short massive boost of speed in order to overtake the other racers. Helping each other also fills this meter, but later we see that getting hit by the Wisp items causes racers to lose rings. So maybe it's possible for teams to prevent each other from getting a team boost, possibly adding a bit more strategy to the idea of teams in the first place. Along with the rings, we can see pink spike and yellow drill wisps along the side of the track. It's unclear if this indicates that they won't be usable as items, but we somehow don't think it does. They're just a clear choice for an audience as Sonic races around Planet Wisp. The Wisp items are obtained from containers that look exactly the same as the ones from the Sonic and All-Stars Racing games, showing that Sumo Digital influence. Despite there being 12 characters per race, the previews made it clear that only Team Sonic and Team Dark were available to choose. Like in Sonic Heroes, Team Dark consists of Shadow, Rouge, and Omega, the latter two we see during the course of the race, but there's really not anything else to note about them. More intriguing are the other racers we see. At one point we can spot an egg pawn, and it makes us wonder if it's part of a possible Team Eggman or if it's there to fill out the 12 racer spots. It seems to be the latter, at least in this case, as later in the gameplay we can see a blue egg pawn, making for a way to differentiate them. Now, they could still be part of Team Eggman, but we think there'd be more variety in the choices rather than multicolored egg pawns. While Planet Wisp seems to be a mostly organic track, there is a bit more to see here besides the twisting road and vibrant nature. There's a billboard on the side advertising something of Amy's, We can't make out what she's selling, but the tagline is, "Gotta grow fast." It's obviously a play on Sonic's gotta go fast attitude, but that's either a heck of a pickup line for Sonic, or maybe she's just selling plant food of some kind. But the billboards in Team Sonic Racing don't stay static, as we see the advertisement shift as Sonic goes by. This time it's selling air fresheners for the cars in the shape of the classic Sonic sprite. It's a direct callback to Sonic's cameo in Rad Mobile. But this isn't the only billboard, as another lies ahead. Unfortunately, it changes too soon for us to clearly make it out. Instead, all we can see is the red design, with either Sonic performing a super peel out, or Metal Sonic with tank treads replacing its feet. Yeah, it's a little unclear what we're looking at. Although, the next ad that appears is much easier to make out. This one says, "The Tailgater from Dampa Motors." We investigated everything we could, but we have no idea what Dampa could be referring to. However, the tailgater from the picture looks extremely reminiscent of the vehicle Eggman rides when chasing Sonic, Mighty, and Ray in Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog. Based on these two billboards, Sonic fans can probably expect some deep cuts when it comes to references. The final item wisp we see is the Red Burst, which acts as a short speed boost that even leaves flame trails behind the wheels. As Sonic speeds toward the finish line, he is able to perform tricks in midair, another aspect that was used in All-Star Racing. But he's going so fast that we can't make out who's in the crowd at all. Despite that, this early look at Team Sonic Racing shows promise. While its new elements are a bit strange, Sumo Digital has proven that they can make a fun racer. So we can't wait to see more of it as we approach its winter release. Of course, if we missed anything, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for future analyses and even more from GameXplain.